Alright everybody, welcome back to Dark Stars Crusade. This is going to be one of my first videos showcasing a video game versus the tabletop game. And I'm playing Dawn of War Soulstorm. It's very modded because I have the pleasure of being a part of a group of modders, basically the main group of modders for Dawn of War in general, like Thudmeizer and Calculus. I butchered that name, I apologize if you're watching this. And many others that are just super talented, really good at what they do, and make these amazing race mods for the game. So I know a few of you played race mods, such as like the Black Templars mod, which is what I'm playing today. They've made many more since then. Dark Angels, Space Wolves, Legion of the Damned, AdMech. I can't think of what right now, but there's like over 20 different mods that these glorious individuals have made, and I have been playing them probably almost as long as I've been playing Dawn of War Soulstorm, which is very long. I've been playing it since probably I was like around 13, 14 years old. And I just wanted to show you guys what these awesome people are working on. I'm a beta tester for them, so some of these, not so much in this game, but in possibly future games, you'll see some things that may not be released yet, or things that are still being tested. Probably some bugs here and there, missing textures, sound glitches, etc. I'll try to limit that as much as possible, but as I said, most of these are still work in progresses. I'll put links in the description below to all the public releases, so you guys can get a feel for these mods if you haven't already. All the race mods that I have are being run together with the help of another mod that they all created called Unification. I highly recommend downloading it. It is super fun. It adds a bunch of new game modes. It's just a really good time, honestly. I highly recommend it. I'm gonna stop rambling, and let's get into this game. Alright, so in the beginning there is a builder, or artificer for the Black Templars, and that's who you see right there. He's basically like, I guess, like a junior tech marine. Doesn't have the full silver honors yet, but it's pretty cool. So I'm just building the Black Templar equivalent to the chapel barracks here. It's where you basically get all of your different troops for this. The landing site, what you see there with the Thunderhawk, basically creates just normal Crusader squads. Those are the guys that you see there, and they start with a base of three initiates. You can upgrade them to have 10 total members, 5 neophytes and 5 initiates once the chapel barracks is built. And then once you get like the armory and all that stuff, you get better weapons for them. So you could give 4 power fists, power swords, plasma guns, or flamers, if I'm not mistaken. So I make a few of those to start out with, just to go capture some points nearby. They're cheap and relatively effective against most things because they are Space Marines after all.
Dark Angels have forgotten the Emperor's agenda, brother.
It always helps to have a few more artificers or builder units in the beginning of the game, just so you can build up listening posts and generators pretty quickly. I sort of play a little bit weird because I focus on capping points first versus getting my power supply up. So it has come back to bite me a few times in different games or against like real people, because I'm a little bit slow in the beginning to start off with. But I am playing easy just so I can give you guys a good representation of this mod. So it's a little bit different for this.
What task do you have for me?
One of the cool things that I really enjoy about the Black Templar race mod in particular is the fact that it doesn't really have a ton of buildings. Like, you don't need to have like a massive starting area to rank up or tier up to your final tier. And you can see there that my Crusader squad is getting blown up by a minefield. It's one of the things in Unification that you can set as a game mode, sort of, or like a game enhancer. And basically it allows each player to place 1 or 2 minefields or trap wires or whatever, and that's what you saw up there. Mine was getting destroyed by the Legion of the Damned. So yeah, I have some Dark Angel scouts and their Tech Marine, their builder unit, who's actually a pretty beefy character considering that he's just a builder unit. Yeah, those minefields are really nasty, especially when your unit bugs out on them.
Our skill is wasted on such a task, but we go. Melee squad, ready for battle.
One of the few things that I see with this mod that I haven't been able to fix myself or get a lot of change for, because I don't know if the guy that made it is actually still working on it actively, is the fact that you can only add 1 neophyte at a time. So you could do the right click for the initiates and they'll just, you know, build them as soon as you have money for it. But you have to physically click each neophyte in each squad until you have max. Not a very big deal, but it's definitely wish they could have fixed that up. But whatever. Beggars can't be choosers, and this is honestly one of the best mods I've played.
We have vowed to follow you, Commander. What enemy needs to meet our blades? This point belongs to the Emperor now. We have vowed to follow you, Commander. I am ready to do whatever you require. What is his will, Commander? What enemy needs to meet our blades? Awaiting your commands. Where shall we press the assault? We have vowed to follow you, Commander. Shall I raise an edifice in its honor? Cover me while I work.
Alright, so I'm just getting some
Whatever you need of us, Commander.
listening posts on my points so they don't get taken out. My builder units can actually shoot back, throw frag grenades and all that too, so they're not useless either. They're just not as strong as that Dark Angels one for whatever reason. But Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Dark Angel one can equip like a Thunder Hammer, or you know, you could upgrade his weapons. And I think there's a few other ones that let you upgrade weapons and all that. So maybe in the future, if the gentleman that works on this one comes back, I might recommend that to him. But for now, they do just enough what they're supposed to. There you can see the Dark Angels, like Chapter Master, Force Commander. I think they call him not Force Commander. I totally forgot what they call him, but it's like Wing Commander or something. Whatever. But he was tearing through my squads pretty nicely up there. And actually, here's a good example. That effect you see on my Crusader squads right now is actually like when they get into combat, they sort of go into like a rage, and you actually lose control of them for a while. They'll just start fighting until they're not taking damage anymore. So you see, I just got control of them back. You can't reinforce them. You can't tell them where to go. You can't change their settings or anything like that. I think the only way to get rid of that effect is to attach like a character to them, like the Emperor's Champion or a Chaplain or something like that. I had to do a little bit more research into it, but it's actually a pretty cool setting, because they're not weak. They're not like just gonna run off and die unless you're like sending one against an entire force. But it sort of shows the sort of crazy zeal that Black Templars are famous for. There goes off my Force Commander, my Castellan, going to support the dudes. And the Black Templars have two basic troop units. It's the Crusader Squad and the Crusader Fire Support Squad. So, like the name implies, one of them is the bog standard Crusader Squad, and then the Fire Support Squad is actually bolters and stuff like that, and you could upgrade them with heavy weapons and stuff. So you could have a bunch of heavy bolters, multi-meltas and such like that. So now I'm going to start building my armory to get my basic dudes some upgrades, open up the paths to get like power fists and just better weapons and stuff like that, multi-meltas and stuff like that for the fire support squads. And then it also opens up, like, it'll upgrade my Castellan as well with better weapons and stuff as I upgrade it. Yeah. So yeah, you can see, you know, power sword, plasma pistol, better armor, better accuracy and range in close combat. It's a good time. So yeah, you can see how having that armory unlocked the heavy bolter for my fire support squads. Here comes another company master, that's what it's called. Dang. Force commander for the Dark Angels. These guys are pretty close to my base, so I'll probably just end up taking them out as fast as I can once I get control back from my squads. Zealous charge. Yeah, try to get that accuracy up. And try to tier up as well, because once I tier up, I unlock my Chaplain and my Emperor's Champion, who is an absolute maniac in close combat. I've been neglecting my power generation, but we'll remedy that now. Move those guys guys a little bit closer so all the bolters can be in range. Hopefully it's nothing too crazy coming out of that chapel barracks. There you go. Oh, it's another company master. Get his ass. Zealous Fury. Oh no, those builders are fixing the barracks. That's not good. Try to take those out pretty quickly so they don't run off and build another base somewhere while I'm taking this out.
We will destroy them all. He is the striking fist of the long arm of the Emperor.
One thing that the basic troops of the Black Templars do struggle with is destroying bases, so you try to upgrade them as fast as possible to allow them to have melta-bombs, multi-meltas, melta-guns, rocket launchers, etc. Like, you know, stuff to take out heavier targets like tanks and buildings and such. So that's one player down. Let's move on to the next.
Pushing
I'm going to probably build up my force a little bit more, make it a little bit higher tier. Yeah, there we go, unlocking the second tier of my base. Getting my command squad, which for some reason only has options to upgrade to heavy weapons, like heavy bolters and rocket launchers. I do wish that we would be able to give them like power swords or storm shields or something like that, something cool that can, you know, make them like, you know, pair them with a chaplain or chapter master or something like that to be able to smack around some of the heavier infantry opponents. Alright, gonna go cap that point. Can never have too many of them. Oh no. Death Guard. Yeah, I'm gonna run away from that because the Death Guard Lord is an absolute unit in close combat. Gonna bring up the boys and try to make it just overwhelming firepower. Upgrade everything, get some Crusader seals and hero upgrades and all that. Cultists is some cultist stuff. Ah, silly lord. Don't get slapped up by the Emperor's mighty sons. Get slapped. Oh yeah, there's my banner bearer with the command squad. He gives a bonus to I think morale and all that. So it's a little hard going against Death Guard. They're very tough and very resilient. So we need to buff up my guys pretty strong.
Their death comes swiftly.
Send the whole Crusade after them right now. Try to clear out some space.
Pushing forward. Honor your oaths, Templar.
Thankfully they didn't finish building this one, so really easy kill. Sneaking up behind me.
Needed for the Crusade?
Awaiting your commands.
Let's get the power up. Another thing that's super nice about most of these race mods is that you could sort of just pick them up if you've been playing Dawn of War for a decent amount of time and sort of know what does what, and with some minor tweaks here and there. But yeah, should thermoplasma generators give you power shockingly enough. The armory, you have an armory, barracks, and then your advanced armory. There's such. Some cases they combine the two. In the case of this one here, they my advanced armory, or sorry, my advanced barracks is the same as my normal barracks. I just have to unlock it. Let's kill that Death Guard. Nasty little post thing. I don't know what it's shooting, but it doesn't look nothing. Baby. Capture that. Oh yeah, and another thing that the unification mod does, if you just saw there's two sort of flashes over my units. They level up and they get some small buffs and stuff like that the longer they're kept alive, so it sort of incentivizes you to keep your units alive and throughout the whole game. So in small games like this where it's only 4 players, it doesn't really do a lot unless you keep your starting units alive the entire game. But if you're playing an 8-player game or something like that, you could have some really tanky base level units, and it does it for all of the factions and stuff. So it's just I think it goes based off of kills and your builders, how much they build, how long they've been alive for, etc. There goes my first champion and Sword Brethren. Those guys are animals in close combat. I love them. Very good models too. I'll see if I can add a little clip of them in the after the game. I'll go to the army painter so you can see what all of these models look like. They're so sick.
Ready to attack the next position.
What task do you have for me?
Yeah, this map is a little bit buggy. It doesn't let people move around as much as they should, but it's a very cool map. I like it a lot. Again, the unification mod comes with a bunch of new maps. There's a game mode called Survival where basically you have 10 waves of AI coming after you, and you just build up your base as best as possible. You build your best units and you just sort of defend your base from them. That's a really cool one. I'll do a video on that in the future. Oh, and another cool thing with this, with the mod, like I was talking about, is that if you see how there's snow or rain, or if you've been paying attention to the mini map, you could see it gets the fog of war will come back. It gets smaller and get bigger. See how it is now. There's day and night cycles. So at midday, you'll see a lot farther than you would normally see if it was just a standard game. and at night, like there's midnight, and it's like, you could barely see like half of what your normal sight distance would be in a normal game. And then like rainstorms would decrease accuracy for ranged weapons. Snowstorms slow down your units. There's a few other modifiers that you can have, but it's really cool. It really adds a level to the game of immersion. Bringing up the armory, or not the armory, the machine cult. Get my tanks on the field. Get me a Land Raider, because those are cool. Oh yeah, and they have a Land Raider Crusader model. It's not just a normal las cannon Land Raider. So I love that. It eats infantry alive, and also can transport 2 squads of Terminators, which is very convenient for me. But the way I usually play this, especially like when I'm playing against AI or like multiple opponents, I'll basically level up as high as I can without, you know, getting tabled. Build my orbital relay, which is similar to the way it works in normal Space Marine Dawn of War. You know, you could put troops in there and drop on them, but instead of just having 3 slots, it's 6. So I could basically start my entire army in Deep Strike, have a few tanks on the field. I'll have my tanks go up and start shooting, and then I'll drop all my troops in around them, and it's devastating. I don't think I've had a person being able to counter it yet, and that's a uniquely Black Templar aspect, I guess, or ability. So build this guy up. Yeah, you're gonna wait for my tier 3 to load up. That'll unlock the orbital relay, the Terminators, or the orbital relay will unlock the Terminators, which will unlock a few more things in the armory to upgrade my Terminators with and my heroes with, and it'll allow my Castellan, my Force Commander, to take Terminator armor, which is sick because I throw him in with my assault Terminators, and he goes to town with them. It gives him the orbital bombardment straight as well, which is, you know, standard Space Marine thing. There you go, with all those. And it also allowed me to build a Venerable Dreadnought, which is dope. I don't think I build it in this game, but it is a very cool model. I'll do it in a following video. Yeah, there's a lot of cool things about this race mod that actually like really makes sense for the Black Templars. Connect him to a Crusader squad because his melee buffs are insane. It's also a very cool model. Yep, there it is. Terminators for sure. Once I get the money for it, there it is. And I'll probably send my Force Commander back to here so he could link up with the Terminators once they're done building. Put all my boys in the drop pods. And now I'm just building up my little tank force, my recon force. And here come the Terminators. And they actually have the ability to give them lightning claws as well as just the thunder hammers, which is kind of cool. And then my Force Commander teleporting up to the ship, changing into his Terminator armor, and coming back down. He is a cool model when he's in Terminator armor too. big boy. And then here come my shooting terminators. Yeah, look at that guy. Freaking sick. And the shooting terminators actually have not just the flamer and the assault cannon, they actually have missile launchers, which is super helpful for Black Templars specifically, because they do not usually have a lot of anti-tank until you build your vehicles. Yeah, I think I forgot to upgrade some of the guys, and obviously you can't upgrade them while they're in the drop pod, so I'm just making sure that I upgraded them all fully. Yeah, did that. Back in the thing for you. Yeah, they're fully upgraded, they're going back in Deep Strike. And in just a moment, those guys will go back into Deep Strike. Now I'm going to start building my tanks. Oh yeah, Razorbacks are also a thing for the Black Templars. Razorbacks in most of the Space Marine race mods have been added, which is super cool, because you could upgrade them to like assault cannons or flamers, heavy flamers I mean, and las cannons I'm pretty sure, and I think some of the other ones might have like plasma cannons or frost cannons if you're playing Space Wolves or whatever the fancy ones they have are. But yeah, no, I love them. They're a nice, cheap little fire support thing. I usually run them with all assault cannons because they just lay down an insane amount of fire, and they'll chew through infantry, light buildings, light vehicles, and just go to town, which is really convenient for an army that doesn't have a lot of shooting. That paired with the hurricane bolters and the assault cannons on the Land Raider is fearful. Once I unlock the heavy armor deployment, which is unlocked by the vehicle cap being increased, it'll allow me to bring my Land Raider Crusader out. Yep, there it is. The last upgrade for the vehicle cap increase and heavy armor deployment. And once that's done, that'll allow me to bring out the big boy, the Land Raider Crusader himself. He's pretty beefy on the vehicle cap too. He has 4, and then the Predator has 5, and the Vindicator, another interesting unit, has 5 as well. So I'll usually run the Land Raider Crusader, 3 of the Razorbacks, which have a vehicle cap of 2, and 1 each of the Predator and Vindicator, because it gives me a nice well-rounded base of fire for anybody that, you know, I can take out tanks, I can take out hordes of infantry, etc. I think I'm going to fast forward for you guys, or jump forward a little bit, just so we don't have to wait here while I'm just upgrading and you know, waiting for things to be produced and all that. So I'll be right back in just a second with the final cuts of the army. Alright, so we are back. I have all my tanks set up, and we're gonna go start scouting out and trying to find our opponent. Our Death Guard opponent. It's one of his captured critical locations. Don't really care about that right now. I have everything that I need to hopefully take out his base. So, nothing down there, so I'm gonna go check out the next point. Basically leapfrog from point to point because you can only build around one of them, so it's usually how I find my opponents. If there's, I'll go into the general location of where I think they are, and sure enough, there they are. Oh, that listening post has a las cannon or something on it. It's wrecking my Razorback. Yep, there he goes. Boom. Oh, well, hopefully the rest of my tanks will take care of him pretty nicely. Yeah, I built one of each of the variants of Razorback, one las cannon, one assault cannon, one heavy flamer, just to show you guys what they all look like. Yeah, there goes my Vindicator, just laying waste to everything. And, yep, sympathetic detonations on the generators. And then we're gonna just sneak around here to see if there's anything else. Oh. Yes, there is. Alright, so I'm getting ready to drop in the boys in black with a very bad attitude, and hopefully they can crush that if there is any. It might just be one of those weird sort of one-off places that the AI builds, but hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's at the main base and I can just end this. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's main base. So yeah, let me go get my guys and drop them in. Yep. Go. Steel rain. Sword brethren on the field. Oh yeah, I have to drop in my Terminators too. Shoosting squads, choppy squads. Squad of my chaplain and it just dropped down, and here come my Terminators. Boom, assault Terminators, shooty Terminators. Oh yeah, it's a beautiful day to be a Black Templar. Boom. And like with this tactic, I've made people very upset because it's a really nice way to get your entire army across the field without taking any damage from their defenses or anything like that. But yeah, that's how I wreck my opponents in Dawn of War. Alright everybody, that is how I play my Black Templars in Dawn of War Soulstorm with all the mods installed. I was playing against Death Guard, Dark Angels. There was one other player there, but he did get wiped out before I got to see who it was, so that'll be a mystery for another day. I really enjoy playing this game, so I hope you guys enjoy watching me. I will try to make more of these videos in the future going forward. They are a little bit easier than making the modeling videos. I haven't forgotten about those, don't worry, I will go back to those eventually. I'm just waiting for 9th edition to drop so I can get a more detailed view of what I need to build, what I want to build, and I'll probably add some Primaris stuff to my army in the future. So thank you again for watching. Your subscriptions and just really help me do this. Keeps me motivated to continue working on my models and playing one of my favorite games. So you guys rock. I appreciate everything, and I'll see you in the next video.